And take 55. We've been trying to get round to this video to update about the hospital and the birth, obviously. And that's no. You're trying to adapt to parental life and take in the visits, and that's interesting. So we originally went in for our appointment. I think somebody wants to join in our chat. We seen the consultant, and she said that I had to get, obviously, my pessaries when I come in at 7. Go away for the day, enjoy the day. So we did that. We went and had some shopping, and then we did an early anniversary dinner, and then I was bouncing about. And then we went up to the hospital later that night. I'll be careful what I say and how I say it. But they didn't have a clue that I was coming up to the ward, so they didn't have a space for me, so I had to wait for that. So I didn't get started to a wee bit later. We got in, got settled, got all the bloods and everything done, everything that needed sorted. Eventually got showered and settled into my own room, and then they decided that they were moving me at 1 a.m. because my husband wasn't staying with me because we booked hotels, but yet later to tell us that he could have stayed. So yeah, so I got moved into a ward with 3 other girls in the same situation, so they were all getting induced, and then we went down to
Just find his shadow.
I don't even know where I was going with that. Where was I going?
You're in a ward with 2 other ladies getting the same thing.
3 other girls.
3 other girls.
And then we were just waiting and everything to happen, really. So I'd got the hormones and all that kind of stuff and whatever else I needed to get started, and nothing was really happening. Then about 12 or so hours later, all was happening at the one go. So we were down in the labour ward, and right enough, somebody was born 12 hours later.
Pretty much.
But I said to the midwife that night, it was about 2:30, at least he let us have our anniversary right enough.
That's true.
And he said, did he say? I rang the midwife, called the midwife for help. And I says to her, there's something not right. Like this, there's something wrong with my body. There's something not right. And then she thought, obviously, she was quite funny. And she said, yeah, you're having a baby. So she's like, would you like a bath? I was like a bath? A bath? So we were going through the contractions, all the fun together, trying to do everything. And then I phoned you about 4:30 because I was waiting to see what was happening myself. Then went downstairs. I can't even remember what time that was.
About 8:30.
And so I'd been going through all that for ages, which was, well, felt like ages. Maybe other people would be like, I was in labour for this length of time. So, and then eventually we got into active labour, and that was interesting. Everything was taking its time to happen. It felt like it was taking its time to happen. And then the midwife left the room to go and get more stuff to help me, because I had cannulas and things in for strep and other things. And she was going to get me started on the hormone drip because nothing was happening. And then somebody decided that they were coming, and that was it. Like, we had no choice in the matter, and I had about 3 seconds. So the team quickly, like I says to Cameron, there's something not right. Like there's definitely something not right. I've not felt like this before because there was similarities to my first birth, and then there was differences. And I says to Cameron, I think this baby's coming. He's like, you're exaggerating. You've had these contractions for ages. Just come on, breathe, push through it. Blah blah blah. What men would say, you know.
Well, it's the fact that your contractions weren't at the point where the midwives thought they should be for you actually having the baby.
Yeah, so just basically he appeared like magic, really. He just went, oh, I'm coming.
Because they want you to be what, 4 and 10.
I don't even, to be honest, I don't know what it was, but the gas in the air,
Well,
that was still
you were only
rubbish.
about 2. You were 2 going on 3 and 10.
Well, he was keeping track of that. I wasn't. I was just thinking what was happening. But then, as the midwife left, I says to him, "Get her back. There's something not right." Like, and he's just like, "What do you mean there's something not right?" And I was like, "No, I think this baby's coming." And he's just looking at me like, "No."
I just thought you were in pain and your contractions were getting a wee bit worse.
And then no. Head
It was
started
definitely
to
coming.
appear. And I think somebody felt a wee bit sick. Went outside and asked for help because obviously he did. He looked because he was like she's at it.
Well, I was worried because I was like, is he coming? I don't think he would be coming
So
at that point. I thought
Cameron,
maybe I could reassure you and be like, no, there's nothing there.
Cameron thought he was going to become a midwife. He thought he was going to be the delivery.
Oh, yeah.
Call Cameron, never mind the midwife. So we like shouted them back in, and there was like 4 of them just surrounded. They were like that so quick. They all got like where they needed to be, and then we got this baby out. But he was absolutely determined, and I'm talking about the child. That well, I don't know what you are. You're like a big man child, so the smaller one, was determined that he was coming. Like, because I was obviously told to push on contractions. I was trying to do that, and then someone was like, "No, like I'm coming out." So, yeah, that was decided, and then I didn't realise that they timed from the head coming out to the feet coming out. I didn't realise that they actually timed that situation. And then my midwife, when I come home, told me, "Wow, you delivered in 3 minutes." And I was like, "Eh? What do you mean 3 minutes?" I was like, "No, I was in labour for, answering like your brain's not working, is it?" And I was like, "How do you know that?" And then they were like, "It's timed." I was like, "You're kidding." I was like, "Is that quick?" And then they're like, yeah. Like, yeah, to get a baby out, that's quick. I was like, "Oh." So, but so after that, just, yeah, there he was. And that was it. Like, we were just besotted, and then best part ever, we got like a whole loaf of bread, like the tea and toast. Oh my god. She knew how to make tea and toast. She'd no long had a baby, and she knew how to make that. It was good.
It was well.
First time I've been fed.
Does I have any hands or to holding?
No, I was busy.
Holding the
man. But I've still got this. But hopefully
it's got a little bit smaller.
It's getting smaller, so hopefully the hormones are subsiding a wee bit, and it's kind of going away because it's not very nice. Anyway, don't really want it sitting there for my son's 3rd birthday, but anyway. So then we went back upstairs after I'd got all sorted and everything, like showered and that. Back into, we got a room on our own again. I never got kicked out this time, so that was good.
I stayed till midnight, not court 1, just to make sure.
And then we just kind of got on with it, and then had a couple of visitors the next day because there was family like up that way, so they came to see. But I'm trying to think of anything else that we haven't spoken about. I think we've spoken about start to finish of going in. Which annoyed me more was the fact that this thing was sitting there sleeping whilst I was going through the pain. And then also, he thought it was a great crack to get his phone out and make friends with a seagull because it was sitting there, Steven Seagal. He thought it was bloody great. And it's like, look at him, look at him. I was like, as if I'd never seen a seagull in my life before. Like, I really don't care about that seagull right now.
It's a very friendly seagull, to be fair.
Oh, honestly. Taking pictures of it. I'm like, as if it's like a fucking great portrait. But aye, so... But yeah, it was definitely a different feeling to my first child.
I think this time round, obviously not having the ability to get epidural.
Because I never got that, so woo, no pain relief, which is wow.
Towards the end, you were kind of done with the gas in there as well. So
I mean, I don't know if anybody else agrees. Apart from in the end, that when I needed it, when I was...
Yeah, you weren't having to worry about your focus on your breathing so much. You were able to actually breathe it in the way it's supposed to be done.
But it was just such an effort in it. Like, MD knows that. If MD's getting stuff done or whatever, like, in my mind, that is such an effort. Oh my God. But, yeah. So, and I wouldn't say, like, any birth was better than the other. It's just when now within inductions they can give you up to 6 pessaries, which is a lot. Like, that's a lot for your oh, bless you. A lot for your body to take, although it's like lower doses, which makes it harder because then it doesn't work fully to its extent.
It doesn't work as well.
Yeah, so then I ended up needing 3 again. I had 3 with my first and then 3 with my second. But it was definitely, there was differences in it. Like, but I just thought, oh my God, I can't, like, you have to leave your body for, what is it, 24 hours?
Yeah, 24 hours from your last pessary.
So it gives your body a break. But I was just praying that I would not have to have a 4th. Because I was like, oh my goodness. I was just done with that.
It definitely helped you getting up and having that wee walk down the stairs. And that saved you from having to have the 4th one.
She's like, get up and like have a go about or go for a bath or go in the ball. The ball was just uncomfy. It just wasn't happening. So for me, I was like just like kind of leant over the bed and just kind of back and forth, like just moving my body was the only thing that was working. Plus I had a fan round my neck, which was really fucking good. That was a great investment by Granny and Papa. That's for sure. Because it was just so soothing. Like, you could just shut your eyes and just deal with it, like just go through it. But I had really strong contractions in the first one because the hormone drip was far too high with having Clayton. But second time round, I was dealing with the contractions without that. So it was a totally different feeling and a different feeling for both births. Although they were both like natural kind of thing. It's like... But I wouldn't say neither was better. Like, do you know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, well, if I'd had my second first, like, things like that. I wouldn't say, like, neither nor put me off. Like, it's just the process that they go through. Because obviously I was told lots of different things. Like, I think sometimes communication would be key because you're told... Well, you're getting, like, they have a version of gel now instead of the tablets, which would be better, more comfortable. But they didn't have any, so it was to the tablets. but yeah, so got to just kind of, it's like not do as you're told, but like that's what they had and that was it. But yeah, just I think they'd have been better sticking to the like they can only give you 3 and just keep the higher dose rather than so many.
And then maybe the giving you the 6 is probably to maybe limit the amount of people that get the 3 and then have to go for section.
Maybe,
Or
because that's what I was originally told as well, because he was supposed to be big, but due to the gestational diabetes, but no, he came out at 7.4, which obviously it is early, yes, but he'd have just probably been the same weight as his brother, if not a tiny bit bigger, which would have been like 8.4. So I feel like I was doing all that. Obviously, it's to protect baby and you, but I feel like I was doing all that for not like any purpose really, because we've both come out the other end where he's fine in his bloods and I'm fine in my bloods, and we've not to do anything else further about it. So it was a bit like, because obviously I'd been dieting and doing everything I was told to do and taking tablets and yeah. So just a bit of like communication would have been better. Like even the fact of like saying like I don't need to take my iron anymore or my stuff anymore, and then next minute someone else turns around and be like, do you know you're supposed to be taking your iron still, like to help you? And I was like, no, I was told to stop taking it. So we're kind of, and then they end up as we were leaving, our son had been discharged about 2ish, and then I was waiting to get discharged because I was waiting to get stuff from the doctor as well, and they didn't come to us till about 4ish, and we had obviously a long drive home, and we're sitting waiting. I thought, nah, like we're a newborn all the way home. So we went up and asked what was happening, and then the first day that the midwife came in to see us, she said, do you know you're still not discharged from the hospital? And I was like, what? So yeah, doctor hadn't even looked at the stuff, but yeah, we were okay to go home. So yeah, I'd have been waiting a very long time to go home. Still don't know if I'm discharged, but anyway.
I think Kirsty said the other day you were.
Yeah. So don't know what else. I'm not sure what else. Oh, I was so disheartened. I was going for my last supper because you know what it's like when you sometimes you get into hospitals. You know what it's like. It's either really good or not. Wasn't too bad, but I went for my fritter roll, and they had no fritters. I was so upset. Yeah, like when you upset a pregnant lady, it's no good. But then, as soon as I had a baby, I sent him to get everything that I've not had.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
I went to McDonald's, I want a can of Red
Bull.
Want a packet of
my
crisps
God,
and
I
hot
can have
chocolate.
seafood. I can lie in my stomach. Yeah, there's a lot that I wouldn't miss about pregnancy, but a lot that you're god darn lucky for, especially even making a baby, let alone to have one, because you know what people go through, as we said in our last video. I'm trying to think if I've said everything that's happened. So we've went in, they've not known we're coming.
Mm-hmm.
We eventually got a room. We got put out at that time. What else? Trying to think. Was waiting on everything to get started, which took a while. It took a while to late at night. But yeah, so got home. You went and got our first son, and then came back because we wanted him to have the reaction on his own, not with grandparents coming in, because it would just all be too much. Because obviously he'd been staying with them whilst we were away, and the reaction we got was pretty good.
Yeah.
We were expecting him to, we'd went away to New York like last year, and we were like, he like, oh, mommy, daddy, toys, So we were expecting him to like just walk past us and be like, but he was asking for us a lot the day before apparently.
And
baby. So
asking if baby was here yet.
Baby was here yet. But we thought, okay, we'll see. And no, he came in and then he straight up to the chair, like, like, kind of like mesmerised, like, oh, it's a baby. And then straight in there, wanting to change, wanting to help feed. But yeah, like, he's been great. Like, he had one wee accident, one wee blip, but other than that, he's been great. Like, he's I don't even know words, to be honest. He's probably surprised us.
I don't know. I wouldn't say surprised. I think it's just
no, like, you know what I mean though. Like, he's like,
it's just
it's a big change.
Yeah, I think he's dealt with the change very well.
Yeah,
like being from the only one having mum and dad constantly to now having
for 3 years and all.
and now having this new baby come into the family that needs mum and dad's attention, and
he's so
he's
concerned as well.
Yeah, he is very caring and very thoughtful as when it comes to his brother. And it has only been a week.
He was not liking the car because obviously it's all new. They've been in the womb for like 9 months. So, and his brother was like, "Oh, it's okay, like, you're okay." And we weren't expecting these reactions, like
trying to reach over to
to help. And another sneaky thing I did as well, I've been wearing this necklace for like since Christmas.
Yeah.
Since December, and it's had both their names on it. Obviously my first son anyway, but the second child's names on it. I know you're maybe not supposed to do that. People are superstitious, but and obviously there is things that happen. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't. So before anybody says anything about that, like, I know. But I've had it on me the whole time, and folk have been asking, "Oh, what's the second child's name? Because we know you've got a name." Blah blah blah. I was like, well, you just have to wait and see. Because we were going to tell people, and then we changed our mind. But because that's like your last wee thing of them being born as well, like in their name. But it must be a thing about when you have a second child, because nobody really asked his name. They just went, "Oh, congratulations! Like, you've had the baby." Or they'll be sitting and be like, "What's his name?"
Yeah.
Like,
after they've been holding them for half an hour.
I know. But yeah, so we've had the. It's only been a week, but we've had the interest in this. This likes to sleep all day and party all night. So yeah, and he's a feeder as well. Probably about every 2.5 hours, and people are probably going to go, "That's great. Well, our other son, half an hour difference, not much. 3 hours, and he was
3 to 4 hours sometimes.
And he was a good sleeper.
Yeah.
But you say you never get to the same, so we'll wait and see.
And this one likes to hold on to his wind as well. Doesn't like to get rid of it.
Oh yeah, his brother used to do too, but not as bad as this one. So, not this one being Cameron. He lets his go. So we've had all the fun with the nappies and all that stuff already. The sharts, as I call them.
Nappies, sick.
Aye, just everything, like, cause he was guzzling the milk, like, as if he's never going to get fed again. But it's just, and the difference, like, when we came home to having our older son, oh my goodness, he's like shot up, bulked out as if he's had protein. I've been feeding him steak. See, trying to lift him in comparison to our second one. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Going from a baby that's £7.4 to a child that's
Oof.
about 2.5 stone.
Oh my goodness. We could not, honest. I was so glad when I came home I was not pregnant, I tell you. Trying to lift him would be, and I know people are going to be like, well, do you need to lift him, make him walk? Yes, he can. Yes, he can, and we do make him majority of the time.
He just likes cuddles.
He just likes cuddles, and I think with everything that's going on, he has the right to cuddles. So, whatever he asks, not that he gets, but there's still rules. But at the end of the day,
he's got a lot of adjusting to do.
He was first, and it's not fair if he feels like pushed out and stuff, because there's a lot that goes around in people's parents' minds when it comes from going from 1 to 2, and especially like trying to adjust. And then I'm waiting on someone to say to me, but you wanted that, you wanted to be pregnant. Yes, we did. But obviously you've got to learn like you did with your first one, the adjustments going from 1 to 2, and how to work it, and then eventually get a routine. But
I think the thing is, like, trying to tell a toddler, oh, just wait a wee minute, or wait like 2 minutes.
They don't
have the concept of time, so they don't know how long 2 minutes is.
No.
So their wee brain's trying to comprehend what wait 2 minutes means could be like really distressing to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say, oh, sorry, 2 minutes, mummy's feeding, or daddy's just changing a nappy. They don't really understand that process is only going to take a short period of time. They just think whatever I want it now.
Yeah.
And that's not them being demanding, it's just that their time frames don't match up to what ours do. Like, we know 2 minutes means 2 minutes. They think 2 minutes could be half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour. Like, they just don't understand the concept of time.
And obviously I can't say to a newborn, just 2 minutes, hang on, because it's as if you've cut their throat when you don't feed them, So, or you're changing them, and like, that's freezing. But you can never imagine that they were that small, and when you see it like that, time really is a thief. Like, I would say to anybody, even if they're putting their children into nursery, like, this is obviously my personal choice, but do not put them in full time. Like, you want all the time you can get, because the minute that they go to primary school, that's it. Like, that's it. You've not got all that time. I'm obviously lucky in the job I'm in, where I've got the holidays, which is great, and then you're off half the year anyway. Yeah. So we're lucky, we're fortunate that way where we can do that. I'm trying to think what else to kind of say or add. Not really much to say about my hospital bag.
It wasn't much different, apart from you didn't take quite as much this time, I don't think.
No, and I mainly lived in my pyjamas, really, until I was leaving.
Yeah.
But we weren't there as long, which...
No.
That was another difference, obviously.
Yeah, it was obviously just this time around, it was the wee man out, and then 24 hours later we were leaving. Whereas last time we needed to stay for a bit longer.
But all observations and stuff, like, they were, like, fine from the midwife and stuff, for both of us. So we were, everything was good with him, good with me. Just saying that everything's kind of going back to, like, normal, what it should be, which is good. I don't know much else. that we've been chatting about. What else? Anything else?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Probably quite boring for people, but at least if they want to look at it when they're older, they can do. Like if they want to listen to what was going on or what was happening. So yeah, it's mainly their purpose. And then for people to ask questions if they want to, because obviously if they're going through any similarities, then they might want to ask something or any sort of advice. Don't know. But yeah, so it's just quite the thing over there. The product is in his wee chair. He looks like he's dabbing.
Hiding his face.
But yeah, no more paparazzi. I'm fed up with this mother already taking loads of pictures of me. But yeah, try to document what we can, and now we're just going to see the adventure as a family of 4. See how that goes. Because people have already been asking, "Oh, are you having a third?" just give me a second, love. We're trying to adjust. We don't even know our names half the time.
No. What time of day is? 24 hours is definitely sped up.
It does. It really does. Like, people are like, oh, the lovely newborn stage and everything takes its time and blah. No, it bloody doesn't.
No.
The days go like that. One minute you're feeding, the next minute you're feeding again, changing again. Next minute you're here, you're having your breakfast, you're having your lunch, you're having your dinner, you can't even breathe because you're saying all the sentences at the one time.
I think as well it's the fact of having one child when the baby's sleeping. That's fine, you can go for a sleep or you can do what you need to do. But when you've got a baby and a toddler, like, your toddler's not sleeping through the day, so your chance of sleeping is out the window. It's not like you can't then be like, right, you're going to sleep because mum and dad need a sleep.
Yeah. I mean, we're lucky just now. Like, our first one has a nap in the day still, but that is going because he doesn't always want it. So the days that he doesn't want it, we just leave him. But he's just, yeah. So we know that that's going to go, and then they're both going to be up, and we're going to be like, whoa. And then this one's going to grow up, not Cameron, and he's then going to start the naps, whereas his brother's not going to have them. So it's like, as you've just said, you're not going to get that time. Like, everything lands up at the night because you end up doing it all at night, because there's no point. Like, if you're tidying up during the day and doing whatever during the day, there's no point because it gets trashed within 2 seconds. And obviously when there's going to be 2 of them on their feet, it's going to be way worse. You're going to put something somewhere and they're going to put it somewhere else. So
Probably.
And then you're going to be like, oh, well, okay. So my OCD is definitely out the window because there's no point in that whatsoever. But it's changed a lot, like, especially me. Like, I've changed a lot as a person. And then you have as well. Like, you became like the worry wart, and I'm just like the chill. Like, let's just whoo.
Switched roles. I used to be the chilled one, I'm now the stressed one.
Yeah. It's funny to see that in another role side of it. It's like, yeah. So I'm like, God, is that what I was like? But yeah. And he moans, right? He moans about people being a fidget, right? Have you seen how much he's moved in this entire video? Honest to God.
Still.
You're like so fidgety. At least I hold on to one thing.
I used to sit in front of a camera for 35 minutes.
Well. I just thought, you know what, if I do 2 videos, like, that are the length of time, then that's fine. That's, like, rather than 60 videos, because maybe somebody doesn't want to watch 60 videos, I don't know. Or maybe they do. Maybe they'd rather watch it like that. But I just think, as I said before, there's no point in breaking it up the way we did with the first child. It's easier to do it this way and just talk about the experience. Because some people do say certain things like, oh, this and that, and well, okay, but that's not what's in my experience. So
No, I think you just have to, go and have an open mind and just not be frightened by people telling you that it's this terrible experience and
there's this
it's
and
the
that.
worst pain on the planet. And because to be fair, like the first time round, you were
That's probably worse.
5 centimeters dilated, and
Needed the epidural.
you were almost climbing the walls, whereas this time round, you were 5 centimeters dilated, and you were not chilled, but you were able to breathe through it in between, and you were actually able to almost kind of fall asleep in between.
It shows you like how mad drugs actually are. Like, and I don't mean like drugs, I just mean like medicated drugs. Like, it shows you how powerful they actually are. Like, because what he's just said, the difference was, yeah.
But your
like,
body doing it naturally as well. Like,
yeah.
well, obviously you had the intervention of the induction,
Aye.
but as far as the pain relief and everything, like, and the having the hormone to create the contractions, obviously it was, as you said, it was put in a bit too quick. So you went from 2 centimeters to 5 centimeters really quickly.
It was high.
Whereas this time you went more naturally from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, and
yeah, because I didn't actually know. I just bared myself with the pain, and then as I said to you, I said there's something not right about the pain. Like, I feel like it's getting worse. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm exaggerating. And then when they came in and said, actually, yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, it's like that. That was. It's okay. It maybe wasn't a nice situation to be in, but it's not something that would be. You would tell loads of people that to put them off. You would just say, "Oh, this happened." But and this time round, you managed to deliver, go through labour just with gas and air and breathing. And after it, okay, during it, you were obviously in pain and you were sore and like you were saying no, you couldn't do it and things like that. But you were already doing it. You were already in the middle of it. You were already.
I know that there was no choice. I was doing it anyway.
Unfortunately, you didn't have a choice, and the midwife kind of made that obvious that you didn't really have a choice.
No,
because the anaesthetist wasn't coming to do your epidural.
No, I think the disbelief in my face, like looking at her, and she was like, "No, there's been emergencies," and I'm just like,
But I think this time round, you definitely did. Like, it was a quicker process, but it was more natural.
Yeah, and people, like, it's the weirdest feeling to hear from other people as well, when people are like, "My God, that's amazing, well done." Like, I never got that in my first one. Like,
I think some people seem to think that an epidural is the easy way out. I
no.
wouldn't say so. Like, your body still has the same toll on it, it's just you don't feel it.
Aye, and then they do that with people that have sections as well. They're like, "Oh, that's the easy way out." No, listen, I'll tell you, I was getting my placenta taken out, and believe me, I could feel that as well as arms from someone else. Sorry if that's too much TMI, but that felt blah blah blah. You know, I can't even explain that in words, to be quite honest. So, like, for someone to be getting cut and manoeuvring body parts and getting a baby out and tugging and pulling and all that kind of stuff, yeah. And I know that obviously they say, like, you can't feel, but I have spoken to people and they can feel the pulling process and all the tugging and stuff. So that doesn't mean that's an easy way out. They've still had birth, they've still had a child. Like that doesn't. Yeah, and then obviously what you get at the end up, that's wow. Like they've got that scar forevermore. Like, and if they have any more children, like they've got that in their body, and that could make them feel either the process went well for them and it was okay, it was fine, or they could look at that scar and think totally different. So you don't know what situations people are in when you're sitting saying things like that either. So that's, yeah, people in their comments. And it's quite funny now as well. Like, I'm only a week, like, postpartum, and people are like, oh my god, you look great. Like, it's hilarious because you think to yourself, folk were commenting on me, like, being so big. Yes, I know. And now it's like, oh my god, you look amazing, you don't even look like you've had a baby, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, thanks. But, nice to hear as well. But yeah, I'm joining in with the conversation. Eh? It's because you liked food. What?
Still do.
Food. Oh, I know. Yeah. I think it's very like his brother. Like when we come downstairs and make breakfast, he's like, "There's food." But yeah. So I keep saying I don't know what else, but then my mind jogs back to something. But try to think if I've missed anything.
Can't think of it.
We already spoke about rude people. Oh my god, definitely. Trying to think. Trying to remember how to travel back for the hospital was interesting and all. Like putting a newborn into a car seat again and getting them all comfy and sitting with them, making sure they're okay, and yeah. Because you forget when you've got one that's old enough to just kind of not like get on with it, you know what I mean? Like just get in the seat and chat away to you, and you just forget. As obviously they can't tell you anything. But yeah, so I'm actually trying to go round in my mind, like if I've jogged everything. And then we knew that when we came home that we had obviously meal prepped and stuff. That was a lifesaver. That was great, because then you didn't have to think about anything else apart from changing and feeding both children, making sure they were fine, and then maybe getting a shower yourself. But it was great being able to have that sitting there ready. You could just have it whenever, like breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's great. Try to think what else. Just did as we said, we did things to make things easier. Try to think. No. Don't think, is there? No, nothing else. No. No. So I can just leave it open to everybody else if they want to ask any questions. If you do. If you don't, you don't. But aye. Other than that, we'll just leave it at that. Bye.